The director slammed the contract file across the table so hard that the coffee cup beside Shankuk shook. Do you think this company revolves around your feelings, Yon Shankuk? Shankuk stays silent, jaw tight. I already told you, he said calmly. I won't do any shoot that day. The date is finalized. Then move it. The director laughed in disbelief. Move it, he repeated loudly. An international luxury campaign wants you, and you are telling me to move it because of a damn birthday? Shanku's eyes hardened. It's my husband's birthday. And the director snapped. You can celebrate later. No. That one word made the room tense instantly. The other man leaned forward angrily. You have become impossible ever since that marriage. Shankuk looked away, clearly losing patience. You skipped networking dinners. You stopped attending celebrities' parties. You refused dating fan services. And now you are rejecting schedule it too? Shankuk spoke coldly. I did your schedule. You gave me this year. You are an idol, the director barked. Not some lovesick husband. Silence. Then Shankuk slowly looked up. Dark circle set under his eyes. His face looked exhausted, even with makeup. Still, no, on from practice for 10 years. He said quietly, I gave this company every birthday, every holiday, every night of sleep I had. The director rolled his eyes. Oh, please. No, Shankuk interrupted sharply. Listen to me for once. The sudden rise in his voice turned the room. I missed funeral. I performed with insurance. I smiled through panic attack. I let cameras follow me until I forgot what being human felt like. His breathing grew heavier. And one day, I choose for my husband. Suddenly, I am unprofessional. The director stood up too. Your emotions are making you weak. Shankuk leaned forward. Weak? He whispered. You think surviving this industry didn't destroy me already? The director pointed at the contract again. You are doing the shoot. Shankuk stares at the paper for a long moment. Then he pushed it back. No. John Shankuk. My husband spent months planning the day. Shankuk said coldly. He waits for me every night, even when I come home at 3 a.m., exhausted and angry. The director scoffed. So what? That clingy little husband of yours can survive one missed birthday? The atmosphere changed instantly, dangerously. Shanku's chair crashed against the floor as he stood up abruptly. The director froze because Shankuk's expression had turned it terrifyingly calm. Don't talk about him like that. The words came out low, which somehow felt scarier than ending. The director crossed his arms. You are choosing him over your career? Shankuk grabbed his phone from the desk. The lock screen lit up instantly, Thong smiling brightly while holding a tiny, glowing moon lamp against his chest. Shankuk stared at the picture for a long second before speaking quietly. You know what's funny? The director frowned. When everyone else treated me like a product, Shankuk murmured, I is still on the screen. He treated me like a person. Silence fell in the cabin. He stayed when scandal happened, when I couldn't sleep, when I stopped eating properly, when I hated myself. Shankuk looked at his phone slowly. So no, he said firmly. I won't leave him alone on his birthday. Just to stand in front of the cameras, pretending to be happy. The director's face darkened. You are risking everything. Shankuk picked up his jacket. For him, he replied quietly. Without another word, he turned and walked toward the door. But before leaving, he stopped and spoke without looking back. You all keep asking why idol breaks so easily. His hand tightened around the doorknob. Maybe it's because people like you forgot we are human before we are profitable. The apartment door opened harshly. Shankuk walked inside with exhausted step, throwing his bag onto the couch. Before abruptly pulling off his mask, his head was pounding after the horrible meeting with the company's director, endless rehearsals, and non-stop calls from managers. He just wanted silence, 5 minutes, that was all. But the moment he entered, Cookie, Tong came running toward him in fluffy alien pajama, almost sleeping on the floor while holding something glowing in his hand. Look, look, look! Shankuk shut his eyes briefly. Tai, I made a tiny galaxy projector. Tong grinned brightly, pushing the glowing object directly into Shankuk's face. And and look, if you press this button, starts moving around the room and Tai. And I also ordered matching slippers. Oh, and tomorrow we should go shopping because I saw this cute lamp and look it exactly like your eyes and die. Shankuk repeated more firmly. But Tong either didn't notice the warning in his voice or simply got too excited. Wait, 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 there's more. He laughed before grabbing Shankuk's wrist. Come, see the bedroom. I decorated it like space and can you stop for a second? Silence. The words exploded out loud than Shankuk intended. Tong froze immediately, still holding Shankuk's wrist. The apartment suddenly became painfully quiet. Shankuk breathed heavily, irritation still boiling inside him after the awful day. You keep talking non-stop the second I walk in, he snapped. Do you ever think maybe I am tired? Tong blinked slowly, the glowing projector dimmed in his hand. I was just excited. Well, I am not, Shankuk replied harshly. I had the worst day possible, and the moment I came home, you started jumping around me, asking a million things. Tong's lips parted slightly, hurt flashes across his face, so quickly that Jungkook missed it. I didn't mean to annoy you, but you are annoying me right now, Jungkook yelled. The sentence hit hard, too hard. Tong went completely still. No smile, no excited rambling, nothing, just silence. Shankuk ran a hungry hand through his hair, still too overwhelmed to notice the damage fully. I am exhausted, Tai, he muttered coldly. Can't you act mature for once instead of behaving like a child all the time? Tong lowered his eyes immediately. That one sentence shattered something because Tong always worried about being too much, too emotional, too clingy, too excited. And hearing it from Jungkook hurt more than he could explain. Oh, his voice came out tiny. Okay. Jungkook finally looked at him properly, then at the trembling hand holding the little galaxy projector, at the dim eyes desperately trying to cry, at the excitement completely gone from his face. And then Jungkook noticed it. The apartment, the ceiling covered in glowing stars, tiny planet hanging everywhere, purple lights decorating the wall. Tong had spent hours doing all this for him. The realization made guilt crawl painfully into Jungkook's chest. But before he could speak, Tong stepped back quickly. I will stop talking now. That hurt more than director's ailing, more than pressure, more than the executive schedules. Because Tong, the person who spoke endlessly about stars, aliens, random thoughts, and everything he loved, was suddenly quiet, and Jungkook realized too late he was the one who silenced him. Tong nodded quickly, too quickly. Then he carefully placed the little galaxy projector on the table like he was scared it would break if he touched it too hard. Okay, he whispered again. Before Jungkook could say anything else, Tong suddenly turned and walked away fast, running. Jungkook frowned immediately. Tai. Tong wiped his face quickly with his sleeves, shoulders trembling as he rushed toward the bedroom. Tai. Jungkook called again, more annoyed than concerned at first. Stop running around. But Tong didn't stop. A broken sob escaped him instead, and then the bedroom door shut slammed. The sound entered through the apartment. Silence followed instantly. Shankar stood there tightly, staring at the closet door with frustration still buzzing inside his head. He could hear muffled crying from inside. His chest tightened for a second, guilt poked at him. But he was too exhausted to care about that. He was too drained to deal with emotions right now. Too angry, too exhausted, too mentally tired. Jungkook rubbed his face harshly before walking toward the bedroom door slowly. Tai, he sighed tiredly, knocking once. Open the door. No response, only stiffness. Jungkook leaned his forehead against the door with closed eyes. Baby, he muttered weakly, don't cry over this. Still nothing. Unusually, Tong opened the door instantly whenever Shankuk called him baby. Not today. Shankuk exhaled heavily, his body ached, his heart hurt, and the lack of sleep from the past week was finally catching up to him. I will talk to you tomorrow, okay? He said tiredly through the door. I am exhausted right now. Another tiny sob came from inside the room. It twisted something painfully inside Shankuk's chest. But he was too tired to handle it properly. He just needed sleep. One night of rest. Tomorrow he will cuddle Thong, apologize properly, buy him food, maybe take him out somewhere nice. Thong was soft headed anyway. He always forgot Jungkook quickly. So Jungkook convinced himself it would be okay by morning, sleep early. He murmured it before finally walking away from the door. Inside the bedroom, Thong covered his mouth to stop crying sound. Tears soaked his sleeves from of Jungkook's oversized hoodie he was wearing. His chest hurt badly, not because Jungkook yelled it, but because of what he said. Act mature for once. You are annoying. Tong slowly looked around the room. He spent all day decorating excitedly for Jungkook. The glowing stars suddenly looked stupid now, embarrassing, childish, just like him. Like his lips trembled harder before he quietly started pulling the decoration down one by one. The tiny hanging plants, the fairy lights, the silver stars stepped carefully onto the walls, all gone. Because maybe Jungkook was right, maybe he really was too much. The next morning, Jungkook woke up feeling strangely cold. Unusually, Taeyong was wrapped around him like a koala by now, stealing the blanket and mumbling nonsense about stars in his sleep. But today, the bed was empty. Jungkook frowned sleepily before sitting up slowly. Tae, no response. He rubbed his tired eyes and checked the bedroom first. Empty. A weird feeling settled in his chest. Maybe Taeyong was still upset. Jungkook sighed softly. He really messed up yesterday. Pulling on a hoodie quickly, he walked downstairs, expecting to find Taeyong in the kitchen, making another weird Swiss breakfast. Instead, the apartment was quiet, too quiet. One of the maids bowed politely upon seeing him. Good morning, sir. Jungkook glanced around. Where is Tae? The maid looked confused. I don't know, sir. I thought young master was sleeping with you. Jungkook froze. What? The maid blinked nervously. I haven't seen him since last night. Suddenly fully awake, Jungkook immediately turned toward the hallway. A bad feeling crawled up his spine. He walked quickly toward the bedroom. Taeyong locked himself in yesterday and pushed the door open. Then stopped. The room was a mess. Jungkook's stomach dropped instantly. The glowing stars that had decorated the ceiling yesterday were ripped down and scattered across the floor. Broken planet decoration lay near the bed. The galaxy projector was outturned. Fairy lights dangled everywhere. It looked like someone had destroyed the entire room in the middle of crying. Jungkook's chest tightened painfully. Tae, no answer. He walked inside slowly, eyes scanning the room faster now. Then he noticed a small thing. A pillow was damp. Tissues covered the floor, and on the bed, Taeyong saw an alien plushie, said, abandoned. Jungkook picked it up silently. His heart started beating louder because Taeyong never slept without that plushie. Never. That's when Jungkook noticed the closet slightly open. He rushed toward it and pulled it wider. A few clothes were missing. Not all. Just enough for a small bag. Jungkook stares blankly at the second. No. His breathing became uneven. He quickly grabbed his phone and dialed Taeyong's number. One ring, two ring. Then the number you are trying to call is currently switched off. Jungkook's face faded immediately. Switched off. Taeyong hated turning his phone off because he always worried Jungkook might need him. Jungkook called him again and again and again. Nothing. Panic slowly started replacing the exhaustion in his body. His mind replayed last night repeatedly. You are annoying me. Act mature for once. Jungkook shut his eyes tightly. Shit. For the first time since the fight, he realized how badly he hurt him, and suddenly the empty apartment felt terrifying. Check the cameras, Jungkook said sharply. The staff immediately rushed to obey. Jungkook stood in the middle of the destroyed room, beating heavily. Thong's was alien Pashi, still clenched tightly in his hand. His mind was spiraling. They left. They actually left. No. Thong never left without telling him, even when upset, even during arguments. But last night wasn't a normal argument. Shankar squeezed his eyes shut briefly, hitting the memory of Thong crying while he walked away. Sir, one of the security workers spoke carefully from downstairs. The camera shows young master leaving around 3:12 a.m. Shankuk immediately looked up. He left alone? Yes, sir. What was he wearing? The worker hesitated. Just pajama and hoodie. Shankuk's heart dropped. Pajamas? He left the house crying in pajamas. Shankuk immediately grabbed his keys and rushed downstairs. Sir, wait. But he was already gone. The black car sped through the street while Jungkook kept calling Thong non-stop, still switched off. His hands trembled against the steering wheel. Then he whispered desperately. He searched every nearby place first. The small convenience store. Thong liked it because they saw star-shaped candy. Nothing. The park where Thai fed starry cats. Nothing. The flower shop where he will spend 30 minutes because they looked friendly. Nothing. Nobody had seen him. Shankuk's anxiety worsened with every passing minute. He got out of the car near slowly recognized. Isn't that Shankuk? Wait, oh my god. He looks like he is searching someone. He didn't care at the first time in your. He didn't care about cameras pointing at him. Thai, he shouted while looking around desperately. People staring. A few secretly recorded him, but Jungkook barely noticed. Rain started falling lightly. Cold drops soaked through his black hoodie as he walked faster down the convenient crowded street. His breathing became uneven because Thong hated being alone when crying. He got scared easily, confused easily, and Jungkook knew how sensitive he was. What if Thai got lost? Jungkook's eyes widened slightly without wasting another second. He ran back toward his car because he knew exactly where to search him. Jungkook drove faster than he should have. His grip on the steering wheel was so tight his knuckles turned white. The rain grew heavier outside, blurring the city lights into messy colors, while he couldn't stop himself from panicking. Please be there, please. The place he was heading to wasn't famous, just a quiet hill on the edge of the city where the stars looked clear at night. Thong loved it there. Whenever scheduled time at Jungkook, that dragged him there with blankets and snacks. Insisting, the universe looked less slowly. From that spot, Jungkook parked carelessly and immediately got out of the rain. Then, wind hit his face harshly. The hill was almost empty because of the weather. His heart pounded violently while he searched around desperately. Then he saw a familiar, oversized hoodie near the edge of the hill. Jungkook froze. Thong sat there silently under the rain, knees pulled to his chest, completely soaked. The tiny glowing star pin attached to his pajama sleeves blinked faintly in the darkness. Jungkook's chest hurt instantly. Thong slowly looked back, but Jungkook almost broke right there. His eyes were swollen badly from crying. His cheeks were red from cold, and the soft excitement that always filled his was gone. He looked small. Shankuk walked toward him carefully. Baby, please, let's go home. You are cold. Tai cried, watching him desperate. I won't go. I feel good here. Shankuk pleaded. No, baby, you are not good. You are shivering. Look, your cookie is here to take you back. Don't be scared. Tai shook his head. Rain isn't scary today. Baby, please. He asked breathlessly. I was worried for you. Tong lowered his eyes again quietly. Sorry. That hurt more than healing would have, because Song never answered this formally. Shankar crouches in front of him quickly. You left in the middle of the night. He said weakly, your phone is off. I searched everywhere. I didn't want to annoy you. The word came out soft, broken. Shankuk went silent immediately. Tong kept staring down at his trembling hands. You said you were tired of talking. He whispered. So I thought maybe if I disappeared for a little while, you could rest peacefully. Shankuk felt his stomach twist painfully. No, I know I am childish. Tong continued quietly. I know I talk too much and follow you around too much, and maybe I make things harder when you are scared. So I wanted to try being measured. Shankuk's chest physically hurt hearing that. His own cruel words repeated back at him. Rain soaked both of them completely now, but neither moved. Tong finally looked up slowly, and his eyes were full of fear, not anger, fear. Do you? His voice shook slightly. Do you still like being around me? Chanku stopped breathing for a second, because Tong genuinely sounded unsure, like one harsh night had made him question everything. And suddenly Jungkook realized the person he loved the most had spent the entire night believing he was unwanted, all because of him. The moment those words left Tong's mouth, Jungkook broke right there in the rain. He immediately dropped on his knees in front of Tong, hands clasping together desperately as tears mixed with rain running down his face. I'm sorry, he choked it out quietly. I'm so sorry, Tae. Tong's eyes widened slightly. Shankuk never cried in front of people, but right now he looked shattered. I'm sorry for making you feel unwanted. Shankuk whispered shakily. I'm sorry for yelling at you, for pushing you away, when all you wanted was to love me. His voice cracked badly. I'm sorry for calling you annoying. I'm sorry for making you cry alone. I'm sorry for making you think you had to disappear just to give me space. Tong lips trembled slightly. Shankuk kept talking through tears, like he was terrified to stop. You are not childish for loving me loudly, Tae. You are not too much, and you never make my life harder. He laughed weakly through his tears. You are the only thing that makes this horrible life feel soft sometimes. Tong looked away quickly, trying to hide his watery eyes. I don't need cookies, sorry. Shankuk's breathing hitched. Tong spoke quietly. I only need his love. Shankuk stared at him for a second before suddenly smiling through tears, the softest smile. I love you, baby, he whispered immediately. I love you so much. More tears rolled down his cheek. I love your voice. I love your silly space talk. I love when you follow me around everywhere. I love how excited you get over tiny things. His smile shook emotionally. I love you so much that even I don't understand how much I love you sometimes. Tong's eyes started feeling again, but he still whispered weakly. I can't believe you. The sentence hurt. Shankuk nodded slowly like he deserved it. Then let me make you believe it again. Tong finally looked at him properly. You broke Tata's heart. Shankuk moved closer, carefully before resting his forehead against Tong's cold hands. Cookie wants to earn it back, he whispered. Please, just one chance. His voice became smaller, and Cookie won't fail this time. Rain poured softly around them, while Tong stared at Jungkook silently for a long moment at his trembling hands. His red eyes, his desperate expression, and despite everything, Tong could still see love there, real love, finally. Tong sniffed loudly before suddenly throwing himself forward. Shankuk barely had time to react before Ty wrapped his arms around his neck. Dramatically, piggyback right? Tong mumbled vaguely. Shankuk laughed softly through tears immediately. Sure, my princess. He stood up carefully with Tong on his back, holding his legs securely while Ty buried his cold face into Shankuk's shoulder. Am I heavy? Ty teased. Shankuk snickers. You are anything but heavy. Never, my love. I will do everything just for you. I love you, Ty. I love you so much. I couldn't even tell you how much I love you. I pouted. Then why did you make me cry this much? I'm so sorry for that, princess. I don't want to, but you know the company work. They were keep pushing me into something I don't want to, and I was stressed because of that. And then Ty shushed him with his finger, kissing his cheek. Don't have to say sorry anymore. I know Cookie's work is hard, and he was stressed. That's why he scolded me. It's okay now, but promise that you won't do that again, or I will never forgive you. Never, princess, never. By the way, you were right. What do you mean? You are heavy. You made me cry and now body shaming too. Shankuk laughed echoed through the rainy night for the first time that day, and hearing the sound, Tong smiled a little against his shoulder because his cookie still loves him after all.